Yo, I swear I'm addicted to digging and finding these PDFs. Y'all see where I'm at right now, right? Harvard. Okay. Now, I just want to go through a quick refresher course because I know a lot of y'all haven't seen the video that I put out last week. It's 3 hours long, so I understand, everybody don't have time for that. You're probably gonna have to watch it in segments. So what I'm gonna try to do now, I'm gonna try to do like a 2 minute refresher course. Then I'm gonna show y'all the heat of this book, like just the first page. Well, like the first page. This is just showing where it's at. But this is why they didn't want us to read, guys, and this is why they hide shit like this in Harvard Library. All right, so let's jump over to the other screen. First things first, we got to do it. The definition of American from Webster's 1828 dictionary. All right, now a native of America originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by Europeans. So if you watch the video, you already know what time it is with this. You know what I'm saying? We already been through this. But for those that haven't seen it, American was originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. So same situation. They hijacked the term like they did everywhere else: European, Irish, Australian, you name it. Anywhere you can name, you know what I'm saying, South African, you know what I mean? Like anywhere you can find Caucasian people, they've adopted the term of the natives. Okay, so let's move on to African, because remember, if you haven't seen that video, you might still think all black people come from Africa off slave ships. All right, so let's go to the etymology of African. All right, so used of black residents of the U.S. from 18th century, when it especially meant one brought from Africa, and sometimes was contrasted to native-born Negro. So contrasted to native-born Negro. Again, what is a native-born Negro if all of us came over here from slave ships from Africa? All right. So I can get into the African American and how it became the preferred term in some circles for U.S. black in quotation marks, meaning they know that all blacks don't come from Africa because, because as we've seen up here, from 18th century, when it especially meant one brought from Africa, when it especially meant, meaning that's not what it means anymore. It especially meant one brought from Africa, and sometimes was contrasted to native-born Negro. Okay, real quick before I hop into the heat. Now, this book is from 1675, guys. So I'm just showing you the slave numbers again. From 1501 to 1675, only 3,970 African slaves disembarked in mainland North America. Okay? And so we can jump into the various different regions, but these people are spread out all over mainland America, based on the location where they disembarked. All right, so now that we understand that, let's go to the 1790, because remember, that's when the first census was put out. Okay, 1790, there's a total of 697,681 so-called black slaves. And there's 59,524 free black people or whatever, according to this census. So what the hell is a free black if they all came over here from Africa on slave ships? Because, when you brought over here on a slave ship, that's perpetual slavery. So there ain't no free slaves. You hear me? So I'm just throwing that out there. And then one thing I'm going to do, look at that total number of slaves from the earliest census, almost 700,000. Let's jump back to the slave numbers real quick. The total disembarked is 388,700. So the whole entire time, the 1875, they never even brought that amount. So what does that tell you, guys? They're capturing free blacks. How? Now we back in Harvard Library. I just had to get y'all caught up real quick if you hadn't seen the video. Now, if this ain't like the most heat you've seen all day, I don't know what to tell you, because I don't even need to jump into the book beyond this right now. We're going to do that in the next video. But this is the present state of New England with respect to the Indian War. Now, who is that? Now, somebody please tell me who that is. Now, you're looking at a native-born Negro, if you haven't figured that out by now. And if you don't think that looked like you, I mean, come on, bro. Unless you're telling me this is an African who, by 1675 had become, you know what I'm saying, a damn war chief and going to war as an Indian with the white. Come on, people. Like, let's just be serious about the situation we're in. Native born Negro, you're looking at them right here. Copper colored races. This is who was looking at these white folks when they jumped off the beach here. That's basically, that's what I'm telling you. And so they separated. You can go and watch the video, and I explain. We get into how they separated free blacks and Indians from the moment they jumped off the boat. With the whole, it goes into the whole Willie Lynch separate them by skin tone shit. Like, this is where that comes from. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing that. So that's why you have, you know what I'm saying, when we look at the Virginia, or actually the South Carolina Negro laws, when they talk about the Indians in amity with the government, meaning friendly with the government. These are the Indians that weren't friendly with the government. Yo ass. That's why you're a prisoner of war right now, because you was out there scalping they shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm trying to show y'all, bro. That's why they don't want us to read. That's why they banned us from reading, because they've documented all of this. It is what it is. All you have to do is look. You know what I'm saying? They want you to just accept blindly that you're from Africa. And there's a reason for that too. Because when you say you're African American or black, what's your nationality? That doesn't describe your nationality. And therefore you don't have rights anywhere. You have privileges as an immigrant, but you don't have rights anywhere. You don't have rights to land. You don't have a claim to, you know what I'm saying, your homeland. Because because here's the funny thing. People that think they're from Africa, these so-called African Americans, they never talk about West Africa, where they supposedly stole all these people from. They want to talk about Kemet, Egypt and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they acting like they ancestors was pharaohs. Bro, if your ancestor was a pharaoh, you'd be rich right now. You'd still be, you know what I'm saying, in the money. It ain't, they weren't enslaving pharaohs, bro. Like, y'all got to realize that. Like, the whole African American thing, people love to jump on that shit because they can say, oh, our ancestors was pharaohs. No, they weren't. You would know, trust me, if you had a pharaoh in your, you know what I'm saying? So these are your ancestors, folks. Like, that's all I'm saying. And if, obviously, there was a lot of mixture in all the populations that were here. So, it is what it is. But all I'm saying is, like, when you talk about descendants of slaves, they telling you they're pulling them from West Africa. So I don't understand how people are, saying, oh, my ancestors was pharaohs and stuff. But anyway, didn't want to hold y'all too long. Just had to show y'all this heat before I dive into this book.